someone has come across the one piece of evidence that I've always said we need in order to prove the ancient astronaut theory.
Imagine driving down a familiar road, and suddenly 10 days of your life just vanish. Not just forgotten, but completely gone, like someone erased them from existence. Now imagine coming back with memories so wild, so impossible, that they would change everything you thought you knew about our universe. This is exactly what happened to Alec Newald, and the evidence he brought back will leave you questioning everything. What you're about to hear sounds like science fiction, but Alec Newald swears it's real. In 1989, this ordinary businessman from New Zealand was driving home when something extraordinary happened that would turn his entire world upside down. He didn't just claim to meet aliens. He says he lived with them, learned from them, and brought back proof that has stunned researchers around the world. Let me tell you Alec's story exactly as he remembers it, and you can decide for yourself what to believe. But I'm warning you, once you hear what happened to him, you'll never look at the night sky the same way again. It was a perfectly normal day in February 1989. Alec Newald, a successful businessman, was driving from Auckland to Rotorua in New Zealand to attend a conference. He had made this 3-hour journey many times before. The road was familiar, the weather was clear, and everything seemed completely ordinary. He was driving his car, listening to music, probably thinking about the business meeting ahead. But somewhere along that familiar highway, something impossible happened. Alec remembers driving through a strange, shimmering light that appeared across the road. It wasn't like anything he had ever seen before. Not sunlight, not headlights, but something that seemed to bend and move like liquid silver in the air. The next thing Alec knew, he was waking up in his car on the side of the road. He felt confused and disoriented, like he had been in the deepest sleep of his life. When he checked his watch, he couldn't believe what he saw. It wasn't the same day anymore. According to his watch, his car's clock, and every other timepiece around him, 10 full days had passed. 10 entire days were just gone from his life. Alec sat in his car, trying to make sense of what had happened. He had no memory of the past 10 days. He didn't remember stopping to eat, sleep, or even get gas. His car still had plenty of fuel, which was impossible after 10 days. His clothes were the same ones he had been wearing when he started the trip. He wasn't hungry or thirsty, even though he should have been starving after more than a week. But as Alec sat there, trying to figure out what had happened, something amazing occurred. Memories started flooding back into his mind, but they weren't normal memories. These were memories of things so strange and wonderful that they seemed like dreams. But they felt completely real. He remembered being taken aboard a massive spacecraft that was unlike anything humans had ever built. The ship was so large that it had its own ecosystems inside, with areas that looked like forests, lakes, and even what seemed like cities. The walls seemed to be alive, glowing with a soft, warm light that changed colors based on the moods of the beings inside. The aliens who took Alec weren't the typical gray creatures we see in movies. According to his memories, they were tall, elegant beings who looked somewhat human but were clearly from somewhere else. They had elongated features, larger eyes, and skin that seemed to shimmer slightly. They moved with a grace that seemed almost like dancing, and they communicated not just with words, but with thoughts and emotions. What amazed Alec the most was how kind and gentle these beings were. They didn't treat him like a prisoner or an experiment. Instead, they welcomed him almost like a guest. They showed him around their incredible ship, explained their technology, and shared their knowledge about the universe. During those 10 days that felt like months in his memories, Alec learned things about space, time, and reality that challenged everything he thought he knew. The aliens explained that they came from a star system far beyond our solar system, and that they had been visiting Earth for thousands of years. They weren't here to invade or conquer. They were here to learn and to help humanity when the time was right. The beings showed Alec their advanced technology, which seemed to work more like magic than machinery. They had devices that could heal injuries instantly, machines that could create any food or material they needed, and computers that seemed to be alive and could think for themselves. They traveled through space not by burning fuel like our rockets, but by bending space and time itself. But what touched Alec's heart the most was how much these beings cared about Earth and humanity. They showed him images of our planet from space, and he could see the beauty and the problems our world faces. They were worried about pollution, war, and the way humans sometimes treat each other. They wanted to help, But they explained that humanity had to be ready to accept help from beings from other worlds. The aliens told Alec that he had been chosen to share this experience because he had an open mind and a good heart. They said that there were others like him around the world who had been contacted, and that slowly, more people would have these experiences as humanity became ready to learn that we are not alone in the universe. During his time on the ship, Alec also met other humans who had been taken for various periods. Some had been there for days, others for weeks. They all seemed happy and at peace, learning from these advanced beings. The aliens explained that time worked differently on their ship, which is why what felt like months to Alec was only 10 days in Earth time. As his visit came to an end, the aliens gave Alec something incredible, a small piece of metal that was unlike anything found on Earth. They told him this would be his proof, something he could show others to help them believe his story. The metal was incredibly light but stronger than steel, and it seemed to have properties that defied our understanding of physics. When the beings returned Alec to his car on that New Zealand highway, they told him that his memories would return gradually. They explained that the human mind needs time to process such extraordinary experiences. They also told him that he would feel called to share his story with the world, and that doing so would help prepare humanity for future contact. As Alec drove home that day, he was a completely changed person. The world looked different to him now. The sky seemed more vast and full of possibilities. Every star could be home to intelligent life. The problems that had seemed so important before his experience now seemed small compared to the incredible reality of the universe. But Alec faced a difficult choice. Should he tell people about what happened to him? He knew that most people would think he was crazy. He could lose his business, his reputation, and his friends. But the aliens had trusted him with this incredible experience, and he felt a responsibility to share it. So Alec decided to go public with his story. He wrote a book called Coevolution, where he detailed everything he could remember about his 10 days with the aliens. He gave interviews, spoke at conferences, and showed the mysterious metal artifact to scientists and researchers. The reaction was exactly what Alec had expected. Some people laughed at him and called him delusional. Others were fascinated but skeptical. But there were also many people who believed him, especially after they saw the strange metal he had brought back. Scientists who examined the metal were puzzled. It had a composition unlike anything they had seen before. The way its atoms were arranged didn't match any known earthly materials. Some researchers said it could be a new type of alloy, but they couldn't explain how it was made or where it came from. The metal also had strange properties. It seemed to change temperature on its own, sometimes becoming warm to the touch for no apparent reason. Under certain types of light, it would glow slightly. Most mysteriously, some people reported feeling a sense of peace and calmness when they held it, as if it had some kind of energy that could affect human emotions. Alec's story gained attention from UFO researchers around the world. They found his account compelling because of several factors. First, he had no history of mental illness or making up stories. He was a successful businessman with everything to lose by going public. Second, his memories were incredibly detailed and consistent, even under hypnosis. Third, he had physical evidence in the form of the mysterious metal. But perhaps the most convincing aspect of Alec's story was how it changed him as a person. People who knew him before and after the experience said he became more compassionate, more interested in environmental issues, and more focused on helping others rather than just making money. It was as if his encounter had given him a new perspective on what really matters in life. Alec also began having other unusual experiences after his return. He found that he could sometimes sense things before they happened, or know things about people without being told. He wasn't sure if these abilities were always there or if his time with the aliens had awakened something in him. Over the years since his experience, Alec has met many other people who claim to have had similar encounters. He's noticed patterns in their stories. The beings are usually described as peaceful and concerned about Earth's well-being. The experiencers often come back with a stronger sense of purpose and a desire to help make the world a better place. Alec believes that these experiences are becoming more common because humanity is approaching a critical point in its development. We have the technology to destroy ourselves, but we also have the potential to become a truly advanced civilization. The aliens, according to Alec, are here to help guide us toward the better path, but only if we choose it ourselves. The message that Alec received from his alien contacts was ultimately hopeful. They believe that humans have great potential and that Earth is a beautiful and special planet. But they also warned that we need to learn to work together better and take better care of our environment if we want to join the larger community of intelligent life in the galaxy. Some scientists remain skeptical of Alec's account, arguing that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. They point out that while the metal is unusual, it's not necessarily proof of alien origin. Human memory, they say, can be unreliable, especially when it comes to traumatic or unusual events. But Alec stands by his story. He says he understands why people have trouble believing him, because he would have been skeptical too before it happened to him. He doesn't ask people to believe everything he says, but he does ask them to keep an open mind about the possibility that we are not alone in the universe. Today, decades after his experience, Alec continues to share his story. He speaks at conferences, gives interviews, and corresponds with researchers and other experiencers around the world. He's become part of a growing community of people who believe that contact between humans and extraterrestrial beings is not just possible, but actually happening. Alec's story raises profound questions about our place in the universe. If his account is true, then everything we think we know about our isolation in space is wrong. We are part of a vast community of intelligent life, and some of those beings are so advanced that they can travel between the stars as easily as we travel between cities. The implications are staggering. If aliens have been visiting Earth for thousands of years, then they have witnessed the entire development of human civilization. They have seen our greatest achievements and our worst mistakes. And according to Alec, they want to help us avoid destroying ourselves and reach our full potential as a species. Whether or not you believe Alec Newald's incredible story, it forces us to think about big questions. Are we alone in the universe? If we're not, what would it mean to make contact with beings from other worlds? How would it change our understanding of ourselves and our place in the cosmos? Alec's experience also highlights the courage it takes to share a story that others might find hard to believe. He risked his reputation and his comfortable life to tell the world what happened to him. That kind of bravery, whether his story is true or not, deserves our respect. For those who do believe Alec's account, it offers a message of hope. It suggests that we are not alone in facing the challenges that threaten our planet and our species. There are wise, advanced beings out there who care about what happens to us and who are willing to help if we show that we're ready to accept that help. Alec Newald's 10 Missing Days remain one of the most detailed and compelling alien abduction accounts ever recorded. His story continues to inspire discussion and debate among believers and skeptics alike. Whether you think he encountered beings from another world or experienced something else entirely, his account opens our minds to the incredible possibilities that might exist beyond our everyday experience. The truth is, we may never know for certain what happened to Alec during those 10 days in 1989. But his story reminds us that the universe is vast and full of mysteries we have yet to understand. And sometimes, the most important thing is not whether we can prove something happened, but whether we have the courage to remain open to possibilities that could change everything we think we know about reality. What do you think about Alec Newald's incredible story? Could he have really been taken by aliens for 10 days? Is the metal he brought back proof of extraterrestrial contact? Or is there another explanation for his missing time and strange memories? The questions his experience raises are as fascinating as they are challenging to answer. If Alec's story has opened your mind to new possibilities about what might be out there in the vast universe, then please hit that like button to let me know. Share this video with friends and family who might be interested in hearing about this incredible account. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories about the mysteries of our world and beyond. Your support helps us continue bringing you the most fascinating and thought-provoking content about the unknown. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars and wondering what secrets they might hold.